Hey y'all, come on in and sit a spell. Come on and get you some of these brown grits, okay? Can y'all tell I'm working on my intro and how I want to greet the people? Anyway, and I gotta get something that can go across the board with whatever time and whatever mood. Because when I'm pumped, you get this. You get, come on in and get you a bowl of these here hot brown grits. You're gonna get stuff like that because I'm perky. So yeah, just if you can think of anything, drop it in the comments. Let me know how you like. Come on in and sit a spell. That's something that my grandmother used to say, and so in honor of her, that's what I say. I say, come on in and sit a spell, because I am a brown girl raised in the South, and there's just certain things that come with living in the South, just like anywhere else, that you won't get anywhere else but the deep, dirty South in the United States. So when I say the South, I'm talking about Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, maybe South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, Tennessee, Louisiana. But Louisiana has their own, especially with the Cajun, their own special flair, which each state has their own special flair. Anyhow, I digress. Y'all like what I got on? Again, Niecy Poo's jacket. And this is the only shirt that I own that went with it. But I thought it'd be a little cute. It'll be a little cute. But today, I want to share a story with you. It's story time. So, as a registered nurse and as an RN entrepreneur, I have RN concierge services. I'm an RN concierge. So any and everything as an RN that I can do for my clients that does not require a physician or clinician oversight or to sign off on, I do it. So I do post-operative care, I do counseling, I do education, I make my own natural hair and body products. So I do a plethora of different things. And I'm also a network marketing distributor for a neuro device. So anyway, one of the things that I do in my nursing concierge portion of my business is I do recovery care for post-op, BBL, Lipo 360, tummy tuck, breast augmentation. I do recovery care for people who've just had surgery. So that's not something I set out to do. I have my own personal feelings, or I had my own personal feelings about cosmetic surgery, plastic surgery, before I inadvertently got into it. And I'll do another video a separate day to talk about how I got into it. But anyway, this was the year that the Lord saw fit to baptize me into the cosmetic surgery industry as a recovery nurse. So I've learned a lot. It has definitely, I don't want to say changed my perspective, but broadened my perspective. I have a lot of compassion for women that do it, and obviously I don't mind caring for them if they choose and opt to have the surgery, and just listening to their different perspective. But honey, I ain't come talk about that today. I want to tell you what had happened was. So what had happened was, this is a story time. Because usually I get all the time, my clients are referred by a very prominent cosmetic surgeon in Miami. I won't name drop right now, but he loves the fact that I'm a registered nurse. He loves the fact that I'm old school, and he absolutely loves the fact that he has seen my work, and he trusts me with his patients, especially with his most complex surgeries. Or sometimes you'll have women that are getting multiple serious things like the Lipo 360 with tummy tuck, with BBL, with breast augmentation, and that's a lot on the body. So yeah, he trusts me, and that makes me feel really good. Well, and I've been getting referrals from him since March of this year. Long story short, I got a referral, and all the referrals have been amazing, no issues, until I got this one lady. It's been almost a couple of months ago, maybe a month and a half ago now, and a lot of them are flying in from California. And so I agreed to take care of her 2 days post-op. And so the charge was $350 a day. which would end up to be like $714 because I also incorporated the mileage. But because she was telling me how much issue she was having with her finances and different things like that, I cut way, like she owed me, I cut the mileage and the travel fees by like 75%. And so you have to pay half. So she paid me $314, which is basically like, that was for day one, and then the remainder $300 would have been for day two. When I walked into her room, because she was staying at a hotel that specializes in, you know, that's what they really are there for, to house. They don't have any staff to take care of the post-operative cosmetic clients, but that's where they predominantly, they're known for. You can get great rates if you're coming to get post-op care. And so everything was fine. When I walked into the room, y'all, it was filthy. It was filthy, filthy, filthy. When I say filthy, I'm not just talking about clothes and different things. I'm talking about clothing, linen, and things, towels strode all over the floor. The kitchen was a mess, and these things are soaked or saturated with body fluid, with drainage, massive amounts of drainage and blood. That's what you're dealing with, okay? When you have your first 24 hours post-op, it's very bloody, a lot of drainage. And it was filthy. Mind you, there had been a nurse there that did her post-op day one. And I came in on day two, the start of day two. So the nurse, and I don't think it was an RN or an LPN. I think it was she just called herself a post-op nurse. She was filthy. She didn't clean anything. She left it in a mess. So my first day, part of that evening with her, was a lot. The faja tech came, the lady came to sell her faja, which she should have already had. She shouldn't have been coming to get fitted for a faja, but you do like you want to do. And it was a mess, so I had to assist with that, because you can't just put on a faja on somebody that's just had surgery, because it's very painful. You have to be very, so I did all of this cleaning, all of this cleaning the kitchen. I couldn't even fix her anything to eat until I cleaned. And long story short, she was one of those patients that you can't tell anything. She didn't have confidence in my knowledge. She kept questioning everything. And when I get people like that, it's to each his own. I really shut up, and I only say the things that's necessary. Taking her vital signs, making sure she get meds, like all of the nurse things, monitoring, you know, her sites, monitoring her drainage and different things like that. I mean, she made everything such an issue, going against physician's orders and all that. And so the long story short, and she didn't like the dinner that I cooked that night. I'll come back to that. She didn't like the dinner that I cooked. And in all fairness to her, because I prepare all the meals and I do an amazing job, the number one thing I'm worrying about is making sure you get the right amount of calories and that you're not getting too much sodium because of the swelling. And so that being said, sometimes I shop for the clients, which if I shop, that means I'm in total control. They give me the money, or they give me their card or whatever. I go shopping, or they purchase, and I consult with them about what they should purchase, the types of food. So the hotel was not very accommodating in the room. You could cook in the room, but it was like a hot plate, very limited seasonings, very limited cookware, utensils, so on and so forth. So a lot of times I have to work my magic, which I always do. Okay, so by the time I'm cooking for her, because when she ate chicken soup, which she had a big bowl of it, she had quite a few snacks and everything. So but the chicken, I did pan-seared chicken on top. So in order for the chicken to have some type of a flavoring, I marinated the chicken in brag aminos. I brought that. She asked me to bring that because she didn't have any seasonings. And one of the things that I do to help season the meat without putting a lot of sodium or salt, I will marinate it. Usually I use the coconut aminos because they has like way less sodium. But I use the brag aminos, which is not a lot of sodium, but it does have some. And long story short, she didn't, she thought it was too salty because I used my Bragaminos, and then she had some balsamic vinaigrette. So you know the wine, the vinegar, excuse me, separates from the oil. So I used a little bit of the oil to coat the pan so that I could pan sear. Long story short, she said it was way too salty. Now I tasted it. Of course, different people have different taste buds. So I didn't think it was too salty, but I did think it was saltier than I would have liked for it to be, for a post-op patient where drainage is an issue. So I will say that. But y'all, I was exhausted. I had driven 4 hours from Tampa to Miami. I had to intensely clean that filthy room with her blood and body fluids all over it. I had to tend to her. I had to clean the kitchen. I had to cook. I had to handle the laundry. Her faja was soaked with blood and drainage, the one she had on. I had to go back. She wanted me to wash her clothes. I had to wash the same things multiple times because she did not like the drainage. It was a lot on me. That could have been done by the staff that came on before me. So she wanted me to cook another meal, and I wasn't about to cook another meal, and I understood. And she said, I said, well, I can get you, you can get something from the fridge, or we got some. She wanted some salmon because she had a big fresh slab of salmon, but I wasn't fixing to season and cook a whole nother meal again because I had made some sides as well. And she said, well, I'll cook it. She had been doing stuff the doctor didn't want her to do and all of that. So she gets up to cook the salmon. She cooks it. She's talking to me. She's telling me all her business at this time or what have you. It took her maybe 10-15 minutes to make her salmon. So that is the one thing that I can say that she asked me to do that I did not do. I was not about to cook again at almost 11 o'clock at night. I wasn't going to do it. And so the next morning, got her up, got ready to take her back to the office. So I'm taking her back and forth for her appointment for her lymphatic drainage. So I asked her, after we got up and getting dressed that morning to go to the doctor, I asked her about the second half of my money, because now I've given you the first day of service. So I'm asking you for the second half, which we had discussed on the phone, and I also sent her invoice and everything like that. Mind you, don't forget I gave her like a 75% discount on the travel piece. She got upset because I asked, and it was downhill from there, honey. It was downhill from there. And so much so to on the drive, we agreed to part ways. She was talking to me real ugly, and see, I'm old enough to be most of these young ladies' mom. I'm not having it. Okay, I'm not going to be ugly to you, but I'm also not, I know how to cut the relationship without being ugly. I don't have to cuss you out, this, that, and the third. And y'all, long story short, I end up bringing her back to the hotel. We parted ways. And she a few weeks ago, I got a notice from Square because her down payment, she paid me via Square. She reported me to Square to get her $314 back, saying she paid me and she didn't get any services from me. That she didn't get any services. I had been cleaning and had my hands and stuff in her body fluids, her drainage, her bloody body fluids, washed her faja 5 times, and she didn't get any services. Making sure her drains are draining, emptying them, measuring, doing vital signs, checking blood pressure, checking for temp, making sure she gets meds, but she didn't get any service. I was furious. I was so furious. When I tell you how angry I was that she because all I got from Square was that the dispute, she disputed the charge. That's the proper terminology. That she says that service is not received for payment given. I was so pissed. But I kept hearing the Spirit say, agree with thine adversary quickly. And there's a scripture in Matthew that talks about when people try to sue you, when people try to extort money from you, just agree with them quickly. And I'll talk, maybe you can look it up. It's in Matthew. I know it's in, I think it might be in chapter 6 or 7. around in there, Matthew. But it says, agree with thine adversary quickly, or if you don't, you'll end up, they'll keep on until you lose a lot of money, is basically the gist of the scripture. Y'all, I was so very angry. I don't want to rush through the testimony. I'm going to make a part 2. I got some content for the next day because this is day 17. Day 17. I'm almost grown. I'm almost 18. So we're doing 30 days of uploads. So this is day number 17. Y'all, please comment and like and subscribe. You know what to do, y'all. We've been doing this for years. Don't get to me and forget your YouTube skill set, okay? So like, comment, and subscribe, and share, honey. I enjoyed your little stay on today, and I will be back with part 2 tomorrow to tell you what happened with that disputation, the blessing that I received, okay? Because that's what the enemy want to do. He want to get you in your feelings. He want to get you in your flesh. He want to get you cussing folk out so he can block the blessing. But no weapon formed shall be able to prosper. I'm the head and not the tail. I am above only and not beneath. I am the lender and not the borrower. In Jesus' mighty name. Okay, I preach myself happy on that one. Anyway, I enjoyed your little stay. Please make sure you treat people right. God bless you. See you with part 2 on tomorrow, Lord willing. Love you.